Welcome back, everybody. In today's video, we are finally tackling this thrift store painting. I got it probably, oh god, it's got to be around a year ago now, for $7 at Value Village. And it's this nice little bench in a garden of sorts. In this, there's actually there's ridges on the edge of the frame, so that's kind of nice. It's sealed in with paper, so we'll have to break into that. Excuse how dirty the table is. I didn't clean after the last time I painted, but no worries. We're just probably going to end up with more paint on it again today. So I'm going to take out the actual artwork. We're going to spookify it because, of course, Halloween is coming up relatively quickly, and we'll turn this into a nice little fun piece of decor. A lot of people on TikTok are doing this trend right now and spookifying things. It has been my plan to paint and redo a thrift store painting for obviously quite a while now that I've had this. But I figured why not turn it into something spooky. I have a little bit of an idea and we'll kind of just feel it out, see how it goes. So without further ado, let's get into the painting. So I started with my X-Acto knife to take off the back of the paper and then got stuck when I realized it was stapled in. After a little help from my fiance, able to get the staples out, and now we can pop the glass out of here and take a peek. So glass is filthy. That will obviously have to be cleaned before. We'll take off the mat. Oh, it's all one big. Okay. And then this is not even a painting. It's really a piece of paper. Fantastic. Makes it, I don't know, maybe easier, maybe harder to paint. This is Garden Bench 2 by Vivian Flasch, painted in 2005, if you're wondering. So, Vivian, I'm going to be redoing your artwork. Let's get started. So first things first, I wanted to test out how the paint was going to react to the paper. The paper itself had a very glossy finish on it, so the paint really didn't want to stick to it, and it took multiple coats for anything to happen. But because it was so glossy, if you did a thin coat of the acrylic over top of it, it basically toned the whole thing. So I did this with brown and didn't blend it very well, obviously, and then thought I wanted the sky to be orange, and then realized I hated that, so I tried to paint it purple, and then the purple and the orange mixed, and that looked gross. So then I went to try and fix the ground, tried to make it look like a rocky texture with different dark browns and blacks and oranges, and then kind of gave up on that and moved on to the bushes. I wanted to turn them into a darker green from that very light green that they were originally. And so I mixed up, really all of my colors are quite muted, and then just ended up with this big blob of dark green. So I decided I hated that also, and then went back and fixed the sky, added some clouds, added a moon, and made the back bushes significantly darker. Still thought I wanted to go ahead with the green though, so you can see me here painting in the large green leaves, and realized I also hated that as well. But I didn't realize that at this point, so I'm painting the pots a more gray color to make them look stone. I thought that would fit a little bit better than like the purple or the dark color that I originally had them, and then they looked a little bit like tombstones. So once I get this all painted here, we jump forward in time quite a bit. You can see that I've now taped paper to the table, which was smart, should have done that sooner, but I actually had to take a break, and I got my fiance's opinion, and he said to add some fog and paint the tombstones with some black. And I was like, the tombstones, okay, they're not tombstones, but I'm gonna make them tombstones. So I added the fog into the background there. Very difficult, 10 out of 10, do not recommend if you don't know what you're doing. And then I decided to add a little bit less detail to the bushes and kind of just have them encompassing what are now my tombstones. So I continued with that, just adding some detail, and then for whatever reason the next part wasn't filmed, but I added some words and some shading to the tombstones themselves and painted that bench up there. And now I'm just adding in a silhouette of a tree to cover up the green bush from the right hand side. Now you might be wondering, oh my god, what are you doing? You're painting a gigantic black thing right in the front there. I had no idea what I wanted to do to fix that whole situation, so my fiance recommended doing one of those big tombstones that has the cross with the circle around it, and I was like, that's perfect, that'll take up a huge chunk. But then I thought it looked really weird just being by itself, so then I added another silhouette of a tree that I do end up adding some more detail, but For whatever reason, I didn't film a whole lot of this. I think it was because I really hated most of it, but I am happy with the end result. Now here, everything got zoomed in, so I'm just going to explain what I'm doing while you look at this really crappy footage. So this is the original mat from the painting. I'm kind of hovering it over my finished painting to see if I like the size of it and the color. So then you'll see this section, which I literally ripped off the red part from the mat, like it was two pieces stuck together, and then I painted the edge black to see if I wanted a black mat around the painting instead. And I decided I did want to go with that route, so I decided to paint the mat myself and then see how it went from there. The mat itself actually absorbed the paint really nicely, ended up with a kind of satinish finish. And then I took off the washi tape. So if you want to hear how that went, even though you can't see it, here are those ASMR noises now. And finally, the last step was to put everything together. So once the mat was painted, I cleaned the glass. I thought I was going to paint the frame black, but I figured the gold might actually kind of complement the darkness of the painting. So first of all, put that mat back in there, then put the painting in, and then the cardstock in the back. I'll have to figure out a way to hold everything together, but that's like a later problem. I also ended up trimming down the actual artwork and recentering it in the mat because I didn't like where it originally fell in there. So you can't really see with the glass, so I had to take the glass out for the photos. But without further ado, here is the before, nice painting, and my after, a much spookier painting. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Mondays, sometimes Wednesday. I hope you have a lovely week, and I will see you all in the next video.